What's up, interwebs? It's your realtor, Jeremy. It's time for the Valley Market Update. This week we have some pretty surprising numbers coming out of Queen Creek. All right, this week we're going to take a look at Chandler, Gilbert, and Queen Creek. We just saw the August numbers come out. They're continuing to tell a narrative that we've been talking about for about 2 months now. The market is definitely starting to slow down. Still really fast, still a crazy market, but definitely slowing down. First, take a look at Chandler numbers. You see the actives, the red line there has been creeping back up. I was looking at some previous years, and the red line used to always be way above the new listings and the sold listings. And I think probably in the next few months, we will see that red line work its way back over the top of the tan and black lines. Average list price still increasing, but we can definitely see some leveling off happening. Absorption rate is skyrocketing. It wasn't uncommon for the last 2 years for numbers to sit around 100. Usually we were actually in the 99s, 98% range. So being all the way up at 104.5 a couple months ago was just bonkers. But we're definitely seeing it tick back down. We're seeing fewer offers on houses, a little bit less competition. So in some cases, you're getting houses for under the listed price. Still, if it's a really nice house, it's gonna sell with a handful of offers, because what I've seen a lot lately is there's some turds on the market. Pardon my terminology, but there are some listings out there that are just not great. And not that they're a bad house, it's just mow the lawn, clean up the yard a little bit. Like, there's some simple things. As the market shifts, it's going to become more and more important that your agent understands how to present a home, and they communicate that to you as a seller. If your agent is not giving you some kind of feedback on what you need to do to make your house more attractive to potential buyers, you need to find a different agent. Your agent also needs to know what's happening in the market. If they're not looking at the data, if they're not out there helping people buy and sell houses like I am, they're not going to know what's going on. So they're going to go in and say, oh, if you like this house at all, you got to offer way over. You may not. It just depends. And I think it's really important that you as a home buyer, you as a home seller, not only have an educated agent that's working for you, but that they're educating you through the process. And I can be a great realtor for you. Give me a call if you're interested in buying or selling in this changing market. It's still a good time to sell. It's a little bit better time to buy than it was a few months ago because there's less competition. Give me a call and I will educate you on the process, what's happening in the market, what we're expecting, and how I can set you up to win, no matter what you're looking to do. Continuing the numbers, you can see days on market have not changed much. Even though we've seen that drop off in the sales to list ratio, days on market aren't changing a whole lot. They actually dipped a little bit from last month. So stuff's still moving quickly, just not for as much over asking. Average sale price for Chandler was $531,454, up from $413,118, a 28% change. Year to date, about a 28% change. As we get closer and closer to the new year, we're going to see this number not be as dramatic. I think probably by January, we'll see a percentage change more in like the low teens, maybe even getting closer to single-digit appreciations. But my guess is January, low teens. And I'll probably clip this video and play it when I do the show in January. Spread of houses in Chandler, solidly in the 400 to 500. The 550 to 750, that is also very strong. It was always a little bit stronger, even though you look at last year's numbers. The other thing I want you to note is look at how many houses over $1 million sold. Last year, 1. This year, 17 houses over $1 million sold in Chandler. If you haven't already, and I know most of you haven't because over 75% of the people that watch my videos have not subscribed, would you do me a favor and would you click subscribe? And if you like the video, like it. If you don't like it, then dislike it and comment below why you don't like it. All feedback is helpful right now, especially to the YouTube algorithms. I appreciate it. Looking at Gilbert numbers, similar to Chandler, we were seeing an increase of active listings. Actives and sold were almost equal this month, which, as you can see from the graph, we haven't seen in quite a while. Just like Chandler, we're definitely seeing some leveling off of the average sale price, which is what we've been predicting for a couple months now. Absorption rate, just like Chandler, popped up. Sold to list ratio didn't dip as hard as Chandler from July to August, but we were also higher generally in Gilbert than we were in Chandler. The other thing to note is the tan line popped up over the black line, meaning there was likely a reduction in price at some point before it sold. The black line is the sale price to the original list price. When we see the tan line come up over the black, it means that there was a price reduction. So the original list price was higher than the list price when it went under contract. That's what that means. Days on market, kind of level, no big change there, which means that houses are still moving fairly quickly, even though we're adding some inventory and still, in some cases, selling over ask. Average sale price, $582,000, $652,000, up from $435,000, $669,000, a 33.74% change. Year to date, 29.61%. And the spread of houses, $400,000 to $500,000 at 137, but look at $550,000 to $750,000. We had 124. Now it looks like that 550 to 750 is going to jump as being our most active price band. Looks like we might have a shifting of the most active price band happening. My gut says in the next 3 months. All right, now Queen Creek, the city where I said there were some shocking numbers. First, let's start with this graph. You'll notice, unlike Chandler and Gilbert, the active listings are above the new listings and the sold listings, meaning there are more houses active on the market right now than there are being sold or that came on the market new. Average sale price, we mentioned last month that Queen Creek became more expensive than Gilbert. We had a little bit of a fluke, and I'll explain in a couple slides. But you can see if we take out the fluke from last month, Queen Creek's kind of leveling off. Now, Queen Creek is still becoming one of the highest value cities in the Southeast Valley, 100%. That's not changed, but I'll explain why we had a little bit of an abnormal peak there. Absorption rate, we are finally over a month. I guess we were just over a month last month, but pretty substantially over a month now. And what this tells me a little bit is that sellers are just as active in Gilbert, Queen Creek, Chandler. However, there's maybe not as big of a draw to move to Queen Creek as there is Gilbert and Chandler. That's kind of what these numbers are telling me. We'll keep an eye on it. That's why I wanted to kind of add Queen Creek into the conversation with Gilbert and Chandler each month. Similar dip in sold to list ratio, though unlike Gilbert, the tan line is still below, which means we're not seeing too many price reductions happening in Queen Creek. Days on market did uptick a little bit, but that's expected due to the fact that active has more inventory than what we sold or new listings. Average sale price, $556,817, which is below Gilbert, so Gilbert took the title back. Up from $437,594, a 27.24% change. Year to date, we're at almost 30%. Here's the spread of houses in Queen Creek, the bulk of them being in the 400 to 500, but here's why we had such an apparent spike of average sale price. This is the spread of houses for August 2021 compared to August 2020. This is the spread of houses for July 2021. And you can see that we sold 14 houses over $1 million in July. If we go back to August, you're going to see we only sold 6 and none of them were over $2 million. So July 2021 in Queen Creek, there were just so many more high-priced homes that sold, and with the smaller number of houses that sell in Queen Creek, it threw that number off a bit. So it did kind of take the title for the most expensive city in the Southeast Valley, but Gilbert pretty quickly took it back. I think that Queen Creek will eventually surpass Gilbert, but it's still going to be a little while. They're about a $30,000 difference between the two of them. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Valley Market Update. Have a good week. Oh, football starts. Yes, it's football season. Let's go.